Hello and welcome to coverage of the 2015 Harris Signs Red Kite Stages, round 1 of the 2015 Mintex MSA British Historic Rally Championship. Over 70 historic crews have come together in what is a new dawn for British historic rallying under the banner of the Roger Albert Clark Motor Club. So sit back and relax as over the next 90 minutes we bring you all the action.
Just trying to keep it all heading in the right direction are Edmund Peel and Sarah MacDonald in Edmund's Category 1 Porsche 911. The sheet ice in Crichton is easy to see as father and son crew Bob and Dale Gibbons make a very popular return to rallying. Bob's wife Di passed away suddenly last summer and it's his first time back in the Ford Cortina Mark II. Bob had many good wishes from around the service area ahead of the rally. Next we see the 911 of Desi Nudd and Geraldine McBride, another of the leading crews for Category 1 in the pre-1968 cars. On all of the gravel rounds of the British Historic Rally Championship, the Cat 1 cars run first on the road, along with the 1600s to give them the best road surface possible. This is Philip Harris's first gravel rally for nearly 25 years in the Mini Cooper, built to immaculate standards by Rob Smith Rallying. Co-driving is Alan Walker, more usually found driving his own Ford Escort, and we go on board with them.
This is one left, right at the bottom. One left here, that's it, get in, get in. 200 up mid, turn hairpin right. Turn hairpin right. That's it. Mid over small crest, 100. 6 left long through dip, 80. So this is 6 left long through dip. Six right and left over small crest. Double caution, 60 down, 1 left deceptive. Sorry, 1 right deceptive, correction. This is it, 1 right deceptive, get in. That's it. Into 2 left long. Into 5 left long. Okay. 80 down, 5 right.
Making its rallying debut is the rare BMW 1800 of Bill Douglas and Dave Turl, and they are going very well indeed in Category 1. Although the mid-1960s BMWs are pretty common in historic racing, this is the first time one of them has found its way onto a rally stage. Sliding his Porsche 911 through the early part of Crooken is Ricky Profit with Graham Wilde co-driving. Ricky is back in his 911 for the first time since completing the Silver Fern Rally in New Zealand last year in a Toyota Corolla. Nearly a quarter of a century after he last contested a rally, Brecon-based Malcolm Rich is making his return to the sport in a 1961 Ford Anglia. He stopped rallying after winning Class A6 in the 1991 Mintex National Championship in the Toyota Corolla. However, it doesn't seem like he's been away, and he gets into the groove very quickly indeed. It doesn't start so well for Dave Watkins and Tom Jordan with a spin on the first stage here, costing them half a minute and setting up a big fight back. Sliding nicely through the stage is Robin Shuttleworth with Ronnie Roughhead alongside as usual in his Mark I Escort. They are one of the leading crews in Class C2 and take an early advantage over Watkins and Jordan. Up in Class C5, Chris Brown and Ali Cornwell Brown are struggling to get their BDA power onto the stages in these very icy conditions. Out out for the first time in the ex-Steve Magson Escort Mark 1, Simon Pickering and Colin Jenkins. Phil Jobson and Arwell Jenkins are benefiting from improved road conditions as they run further down in the main field. Kenyan driver Aziz Tejpar and co-driver Yasser Slach are finding some pretty unfamiliar conditions in the opening stage in their Ford Escort Mark 1, another car in a very strong C5 entry. The Mark 1 of Ian Ricks and Steve Greenhill is another car in the biggest C5 entry for some time, and they're on the way to a good day of trouble-free rallying. At the head of Class C3, old schoolmates Nick Dance and Martin Corbett are taking an immediate class lead with this attacking run through the first stage. Back out rallying after almost a 10-year break from the sport is John Perrott in an Escort Mark 1 last rallied by Russell Morgan. It's a decade since John was a BTRDA frontrunner in a four-wheel drive machinery, but now he's joined the hugely competitive Class C5. Things haven't started so well for the father and son team of Ernie and Will Graham as a clutch problem badly hinders their pace over the opening stages. For Rupert Lomax, this is a return to rallying after a 2-year break. Things like moving house had kept him away, but his Ford Mark 1 was refettled for the new season, and he's raring to go, with Rich Jones on the notes. It's a case of steady away in the morning conditions for Warren Philliskirk and Nigel Hutchinson, yet another leading crew in this hugely competitive Class C5. Roger Matthews and Jack Walby are starting a serious shot at the Mintex MSA British Historic Rally Championship in their BDA-powered Mark 1 and are running well in the masses of C5. With more than 4 decades of experience on all sorts of conditions, David Stokes is revelling in the snow and ice and was among the very fastest through the first stage. It's the start of one of the drives of the rally. This is Mark Holmes, one of the unexpected stars of the first stage. With co-driver Craig Simkis, Holmes is making good use of the lowest start number to really attack the opening stage and is second fastest of all through it. Sadly, their pace goes unrewarded with gearbox failure later in the day. Neil James and Kevin Jones are out for the first time in an Escort Mark II after many seasons in the Mark 1. Chris Skill and new driver Gary Middleton have the unenviable challenge of running first on the road through the first stage, and Chris admitted it was a huge task. Making a fabulous noise in the forests and wowing the fans is the stunning Toyota Corolla of Ben Mellors and Alex Lee. Showing signs of an off in the first stage is the Escort Mark II of Jerry Bailey and Graham Lacey, who have a damaged front wing to show for their big moment in the opening mile. The incredible sounding Lancia Stratos of Steve Perez and Paul Spooner had been tested in the snow in Sweet Lamb on the Friday, following some more work on a brand new Ferrari engine. Mike Tomkinson and Sean Whitehurst admitted to having a rude awakening with a spin on the fourth corner of the rally, but they're pressing well in their Escort Mark II. This was the first UK event for the new car of Phil and Mick Squires, which Phil had took to New Zealand last November. The first stage is proving a disaster for Nick Elliott and Dave Price. A puncture and a spin left the car beached and cost them around a minute. Back to get more development miles on the stunning Fiat 131 from Rally Sport Developments is Julian Reynolds. Really on the attack from the word go are brothers Mark and Ed Bentley in the Skipton Ford backed Mark II. Making his debut with BDG Power is David Goose in his brand new Ford Escort Mark II, built up by the team at Motorscope. It was a tough start for Matthew Robinson and Sam Collis, who couldn't get into the groove in the snow and ice, and they knew just how slippery it was when Sam got out before the first stage and promptly fell over. Let's join them on board and see how tricky it really is.
Deceptive 4 left over bump. Deceptive 4 left over bump, just up here, 4 left there, and 2 right, 8 up the mid, 3 right, slowing long to hairpin left long, 3 right here to hairpin left long, and 7 right. Mint, huh? 7 right. And middle over junction.
Tim Freeman and Paul Williams are finding the conditions a challenge as they head the contenders in the Holden Holmes Clubman Challenge. This is the first event for Ben Llewellyn with co-driver Ross Witter as 2 sons of famous rallying dads get together for the first time. Richard Lane and Frank Richer are set to have a good start, but later reckon the first stage was just a matter of surviving. Ruddy Lancaster was another to drop time on the first stage with 3 spins, but the Devon driver and new co-driver George Quinn, who is also from Devon, still emerged from the first stage in the top 20. Jason Pritchard was found shivering in the service area on Saturday afternoon as he'd spent the previous week in Africa working with Viking Motorsports on the Classic Rally South Africa. Still short on gravel experience, Neil Williams and co-driver Peter James could have done with better conditions at the start of the day. Like Pritchard, Thomas Davies and co-driver Yurig Evans are running their Ford Escort in Category K for cars running to FIA regulations. North Wales crew Arwell Lloyd-Jones and Harold Jones are making the most of their lower position in the running order and make good pace now that the ice and snow is starting to clear. This is rallying veteran Terry Brown at the start of one of the drives of the rally with Den Golding alongside. Terry is using all his experience and local knowledge to set a mighty pace, and the fact they are already challenging for the overall lead is made all the more impressive by the fact that they lost third gear towards the end of this opening stage. Another of the drives of the rally is coming from young East Anglian Ben Friend, who is destined to dominate Class D3 in his Escort Mark II. And Stefan Evans are straight onto maximum attack despite running very high up the order through the first stage. With a fresh Escort Mark II, one of several built over the winter at Wales Motorsport Fabrications, this is the first event for the new pairing and it starts very well, third fastest on the opening stage. Another new pairing for the season are Richard Hill and Ewan Jones in Richard's immaculate Ford Escort Mark II. As 2014 Red Kite winner, Richard runs at number 1 and first on the road for the main historic field, and that's clearly a disadvantage when the road is covered in ice and snow. This rally is a big deal for Daniel Looney Jones in his first taste of rallying in a full-spec BDG Escort Mark II, and he's got quite a pedigree in road rallying where he competed against Marion Evans, and he's now stepped up with a brand new car built by Marion and the team at Wales Motorsport Fabrications. Off to a stunning start, going fastest overall on the first stage and an amazing 10 seconds up on everyone after 8 miles of snow and ice. So here's a look at the standings after just one stage. Buzzing along in the Mini is Philip Harris with Alan Walker shouting encouragement from the co-driver's seat. Phil is having a great rally after such a long break from the sport, and the little Mini is performing superbly. Bob Gibbons is pushing hard in the Cortina Mark II and has the car sliding around on the ice in Kyle. Another impressive debut is coming from Malcolm Rich and Jonathan Hawkins in the Anglia. After 4 stages, they are just 9 seconds down on Profit at the head of Category 1 and really pushing on. Ricky Profit and Graham Wild are setting a cracking pace at the head of Category 1 as we see them in the snow of Cayo. Chris Brown is back on the pace after his road section scare and throws the Chris Brown Builders Escort Mark 1 through Cayo in spectacular fashion. Ernie and Will Graham have got their BDA singing along now that the ice and snow is clearing, and they are delighted to set a time in Cayo that's just 1 second behind David Stokes. The Grahams are now locked in a battle with Warren Philliskirk and Nigel Hutchinson in this superbly competitive Class C5. John Perrott and Keaton Williams have quickly got to grips with the historic Spec Mark 1 and are now enjoying a big battle for 3rd place in Category 2. Rupert Lomax has quickly got back into the groove after his break from rallying, and he's throwing the Escort Mark 1 around in great style. Despite having a queue of quick crews challenging in Category 2, top of the pack after 4 stages is the old master, David Stokes, with his co-driver, Guy Weaver. Having a bit of a Larry moment, but still keeping the throttle planted, our brothers Mark and Ed Bentley in their Skipton Ford Mark 2. Nick Elliott and Dave Price are now pushing on hard as they try to recover earlier lost time, and after 4 stages they have battled from 37th to 8th overall. Another crew using all of the road in their fight back are Matthew Robinson and Sam Collis. Like Elliott, they are flying up the order. Fastest overall in Stage 4 shows that Jason Pritchard and Phil Clark are really on a mission, and they have moved up to 4th overall and 1st in Category K. We go on board in Cayo with Richard Hill.
Long, tightens and caution, 1 right in the dip. 1 right in the dip here. And 6 left, don't cut. 60, 2 left tight, 2 right tight. And rightish over small crest, into 5 left, okay. 200, go on now, 200, keep it going. 4 right, don't cut slippy here. 4 right, don't cut slippy. 40, Caution 3 left long into sudden 1 right, tight, don't cut, Elliott's. 100, listen. 6 right over the crest and 2 left long, 2 left long. 5 right into 4 left, continues for 80, don't cut here now. 4 left, continues into 1 left here. Long and square right. Square right into 5 left. 5 left, 40, 6 left, 4 right, don't cut. 80, listen, nasty now. 5 right, 40, square left, fresh air. 40. 4 left, long and opens. Opens, keep going, into 5 left, continues for 200. Continues now, fast from here now. Opens, 130. 6 right, long, go on, 200. 6 right, go on again, 150. Mile to go. 6 left, logs don't cut, 150. 5 right in, 60. 6 left, 80. 5 right, 6 left, 80. 6 caution, 6 right over the crest, back it off. 80. 2 left, long here. Here's your 2 left. Tightens into square. Tightens. 40 down, hairpin right. Animal, hairpin right.
Hill and Jones are really in the thick of the lead battle and a 3rd overall after just 4 stages. Despite the loss of 3rd gear, Terry Brown and Den Golding are absolutely flying and a 2nd after stage 4. Let's take a look at the results after stage 4. Paul Mankin and Desmond Bell dropped time on the first stage when the Lotus Cortina slid off the road. There was no damage, but it needed the help of spectators to get the car back onto the stage. Phil Harris and Alan Walker have a great debut rally in the Mini and win Class B2 in Walker Die-Casting's Category 1. Desi Nutt and Geraldine McBride upped their pace as conditions improved and ended the day 2nd in Class B5. Bob and Dale Gibbons had a trouble-free finish, 2nd in Class B3 and 3rd overall amongst the BHRC contenders in Category 1. The Anglia of Malcolm Rich dropped some time on the final stage in Cayo and dropped back from Category 1 leader Ricky Profit, but still took a fantastic Class B3 on a great return to rallying. Ricky Profit took a sensible approach in the morning stages, and the final result gives him victory in the BHRC Category 1 by some 40 seconds after a stunning rally from both crew and car. Despite some battle scars after an interesting day, the Escort Mark 1 of Chris and Ali Cornwell Brown are heading for a strong finish with 7th in Category 2. Roger Matthews and Jack Walby had a late scare in Kyo with some strange noises from the rear wheel, but they still take 6th in Category 2. Warren Philliskirk and Nigel Hutchinson were edged back into 5th by just 2 seconds over the final stage. Ernie and Will Graham jumped ahead of Philliskirk on the penultimate stage and went into Kyo with a 2-second advantage. Incredibly, Philliskirk fought back and went 1 second faster in the 9 miles to leave the final gap at just 1 second after a long day's rallying. And here's how it looked from above. One second ahead of Graham were John Perrott and Keaton Williams after a very strong run through the final stage allowed them to jump ahead of both Graham and Philliskirk and take 3rd in Category 2. 2nd in Category 2 was a great result for Rupert Lomax and Rich Jones, who looked like becoming serious contenders to David Stokes and Guy Weaver's throne. However, victory in Category 2 was never really in doubt as Stokes and Weaver deliver a superb drive. They led overall until the dramatic final stage when they were edged back into 4th. This is how they looked from above. Ben Friend and Sean Kennedy starred in the Red Kite to win Class D3 and finish inside the top 10 in Category 3. Julian Reynolds and Ewan Thomas had a couple of spins on the ice, but they ended the day encouraged with progress for the Fiat 131 and 2nd in Category K.
Left 150, right into left over crest 130, 3 left, K 60 tight 3 right camber over crest, K tight 3 right camber over crest, 60 brake 1 left into short 6 right, 1 left, 40, 1 left into crest and 3 left long. And crest brake into caution, square left, long, don't cut.
A brilliant drive from the crew of Peter Smith and Patrick Walsh secures them a well-deserved top 10 finish. The snow and ice was a big challenge for youngsters Ben Llewellyn and Ross Whittock, but they had a good run and picked up pace as conditions improved. 8th overall and 6th in Category 3 was their reward. Meanwhile, Elliott and Price ended the rally on the right pace to take 7th overall and 5th in Category 3. Rudy Lancaster's day improved considerably as he moved up the order to finish 6th overall and 4th in Category 3. It also improved a lot for Robinson and Collis as the day progressed, and they charged from 37th to 5th and were closing in fast on the leaders at the finish. Here's Robbo from the drone. Terry Brown set a superb pace despite gearbox problems and going from 2nd to 4th gear cost him time on the long corner KO. 3rd overall, just 7 seconds down on victory, and 2nd in Category 3 was a brilliant result. A spin on a stall on the first KO cost Richard Hill and Ewan Jones some time, and they were edged for victory by Pritchard on the final stage. Just 4 seconds split them after a thrilling finish, so 2nd overall and Category 3 victory was an excellent start to Richard Hill's campaign. Jason Pritchard claims the victory on the opening round of the Mintex MSA British Historic Rally Championship, and with co-driver Phil Clark he mounted a big push in the final stage, and it was a performance that turned the results on their head. So here are your final standings for the 2015 Red Kite stages.
Ricky, congratulations, BHRC first, Cat 1.
Yeah, fantastic. I didn't think it was going to happen after this morning with the ice and snow, but it was the same for everybody. We couldn't have gone any quicker, I don't think, on the snow without going off, so I think Ian's probably got to some wonderful tyres, or better tyres than we had, but no, the rally's been fabulous. Shame it was cancelled a little, but it was for the right reasons. Yeah, it's lovely to be back. Lovely to be back.
The exact way you would have wanted to start with maximum points straight underneath your belt.
Not bad, is it? So yeah, it's a good sign to go in from a knee tomorrow.
And then we'll see you on the Mid Wales.
Oh, without a doubt. Might be bandaged, but we'll be there.
David, it's a bit of an unknown, so congratulations, because wherever it is, it's a cracking drive.
Oh yeah, I'm happy. We've won the category. I think we're 4th overall. We haven't got any. We have got times, but we haven't got times. You know, I think we're 4th overall. 3 cars went a bit quicker. Thank you. That's me light. And Jason went really quick in there. I expected him to. If that had been icy in there, we'd have held on to it. You know, you can tell on the ice we're quicker. But as soon as it comes to real grunt, the Mark IIs are going to go quicker, aren't they? And it's only Mark IIs that have gone quicker, nobody else.
Jason, absolutely fantastic. Congratulations, winner of the 2015 Red Kite stages.
Thank you very much. It's been a good day. We never did this event last year because we were carless. So, you know, the aim of the day was to get some points on so we're not chasing the championship, and to get the win, it's brilliant.
With all due respect, it did seem to come a bit out of nowhere this afternoon. It was an absolute charge.
Yeah, after the first stage, I don't know where we were. I think we were in the teens somewhere, and then we had some times going out to the last stage, and we were there or thereabouts. So you know, we just kept in our comfort zone because conditions are so tricky. You can get caught out simple, and you know, we just had a good clean run, and it paid off, and we were very quick through there.
It's obviously a new car and a different sort of style, because it's very, very similar to the car you had last year, but you seem to have been much more comfortable straight away with this one.
Yeah, this is the car I used in 2013, and it's a Viking-built car, and you know, it is a gravel car. As the car I was in last year was for tarmac, and you had to really drive the door handles off it. Whereas today, this you could just pull a gear, and you know, it worked well, you know, in the slippy conditions.
It's a championship then that's right up for grabs straight away. You've put your colours to the mast. Are you going to build a championship throughout the year?
The aim was to do the championship because 5 rounds are so close to my home, so it makes sense to try and do them all. And now we've got some good points, you know, we can just try and keep nibbling away, and it's up to the rest to chase us now.
I think that perhaps the surprise has come from the likes of Terry Brown, David Stokes. With no disrespect to those guys, people were talking about Nick, about Matty, about Merion in the beginning, but Dan Jones has shown how quick he is. There's a lot of contenders in this championship.
Yeah, you know, pardon me, the start of the event we were saying the top 15, but you know, it's the top 20 and the early 25s now. You know, it's anyone can, especially in conditions like today. Someone in a little Pinto could have won. You know, it really does throw it up on its head, you know, in a day like today.
Moving on to the Mid Wales next, that's an event that's very, very similar to this in terms of the stage structure and the stages themselves, so something that you'll have a lot of experience.
Yeah, lovely stages again in Mid Wales, and it starts from where this car was actually built, so I'm sure Phil will be about and his boys, so I'll try and do the same again there.
And you wouldn't want to be the seeders, would you? You wouldn't want to be the organisers trying to put people in some sort of order, because it's going to be bloody hard.
No, it'll be some head scratching, I'm sure, for the top few there.
Onwards to the 2015 West Wales Rally Spares RAC Championship then, and a debut to forget for the newly built Hillman Avenger of Andy Stokes and Hugh Kent after their water hose failed towards the end of the first stage. Another crew destined to retire early are Malcolm Bayliss and Sibian Pugh, who struggled through the first stage and were caught by the mini of Phil Harris. Running in RAC Class D2, the Talbot Sunbeam of David Hopkins and Tony Vart had a strong day's rally, particularly in Cayo, and they finished second in their class. Gwilym Roberts and Don James are running in their Lotus Cortina in Category 1, and they were relieved to reach third in class after a major prop shaft vibration developed on the final stage. Graham Standen was another driver to go off on the sheet ice of a road section, but he avoided doing any damage and went on to win his class after a very good run. 7 months after rolling heavily on the Greystoke stages, Stuart and Linda Carris make a welcome return in their Ford Escort Mark 1. The car was only completed on the Thursday before the rally, and the aim was for a steady run to the finish. Will Midgley reckoned he'd had a few heart-in-mouth moments in the ice and snow, but their Toyota ran perfectly all day, and they won their class in Category 4. A smart tyre choice set up a great day for Ian Beveridge and Paul Price in the Volvo PV544. Some Russian remoulds proved ideal for the conditions, and they attacked the opening stage to build a good lead in Category 1. Barry Stevenson-Wheeler and John Pickervance were back to contest the Open category in the RAC Championship once more and had a good run to second place. Simon and Alistair Crooks set the open pace here in the first stage with their Opel Manta 400, but slid off the road in Cayo and went out of the rally. Also chasing open category points is the Toyota Starlet of Leighton Water and Kevin Bocott. There is action in the Category 1 and 1600cc pack here in Cayo as the Sunbeam Talbot of Dave Hopkins is chased by the Lotus Cortina of Gwilym Roberts. Here's Graham Standen showing why he won Class D2 in the West Wales Rally Spares RAC Championship. His pace on this fast, icy stretch shows tremendous commitment. Beveridge is using the grip provided by his snow tyres to set some cracking pace on his way to victory amongst the Category 1 RAC runners. Setting a mighty pace on their debut and well on their way to a victory in the open category after a 2-year break of Phil Burton and Mark Capstick in their Escort Mark II. They deliberately made a steady start and then picked up the pace as road conditions improved. And this is how things finished after round 1 of the 2015 West Wales Rally Spares RAC Championship.
Phil, a great open class run.
It has in the end, yeah. That last stage was proper. We've had a real good doing that last stage. I think we pulled some time back and I'm pleased with the day.
You and Barry have had a real battle, haven't you, up at the tasty end once that Manta moved out the way?
Yeah, you know, I didn't want Simon to go out, but I don't even know what reason yet. You know, my tentative start was there, we've pulled it back and move on now. Good run in the end.
Happy with the car, the way it's grown, the way it's gone?
Yeah, car's been great. We've experimented with tyres today and we'll leave that as an open verdict at the moment. We'll have a weigh up whether we like changing, but on the whole, car, good, really good.
So just as the snow begins to fall, Jason Pritchard wraps up victory on round 1 of the 2015 Mintex MSA British Historic Rally Championship, and what a performance, what a charge in the afternoon from the Welshman. He'll be back along with us at the Mid Wales stages and, by gosh, pick a winner. What an exciting, brilliant, fantastic year of historic motorsport we have ahead of us, and we'll be there through it all. But until then, good night.